Hi girls, let's start today's lesson. So today we are going to continue lesson 8.5, factoring the polynomials on this form, which is this form that is x to the power 2 plus bx plus c. But before I start continue this lesson with you, I would like to tell you about Pearson realized mid-chapter test. I already assigned for you mid-chapter test. It is optional until now. Make sure that you try it. You won't lose anything. I kept it open for you from today, which is Thursday, 26 March, until next week, Tuesday. Until next week, Tuesday. So that's what I kept for you. So let's continue this lesson now. So we discussed about factoring this polynomial, which is the opposite side from what we did before. So this is the factorization for the polynomial. So we want to find two binomials or two polynomials. Once we multiply them, we will go back to this form. We discussed about three cases. The first case was if this B positive and this C positive. The other case if this positive and C is negative. And if the last case if both of them negative. That's what we discussed about. So we finished the first three problems and we stopped by the fourth problem. So let's start working on it. So here they are telling you the area of rectangle is given by the trinomial, which is this trinomial. Now, what are the possible dimensions of the rectangle? Use factoring. Now, the dimensions, which means they mean here, what is this side? What should you have here? The length of this side and the length of this side. So once you multiply them, you will get this one. That means you need to factor this. So what is the factorization for this one? You will go back and use same thing that we did yesterday. Let me remind you, I'm looking for two numbers. Once I add them, I will get -2. Once I multiply them, I will get -35. So what are these two numbers? Once I add them, I will get -2. Once I multiply them, I will get -3. So these two numbers, I can think easily about 7 and 5, but I need one from them negative. Before I put one from negative, I will see which one should I put it negative. Since I have -2 here in the middle, that means I should put the negative with the bigger number, which is 7. So I must say -7. So -7 times 5, which is equals to -32. Here is -7 plus 5, it is -2. That's what I need. Directly go and write in your parentheses according to the variable that you have, x minus 7, x plus 5. That's all the idea. Let's move to the exercise. That's what we did. Exactly same thing. I did not make table and try many of them. You can try if you want, but directly we found two numbers. Once we add them, we got 2. Once we multiply them, we will get -35. Exactly same idea. A rectangle area is this one. What are the possible dimensions that the rectangle of the rectangle? Again, think about two numbers. Once you multiply these two numbers, you will get -1. So a number here and another number. You will get -1. Between them, addition. And another two numbers. Once you multiply them, you will get -72. What are these two numbers that will help you to get that? So these two numbers are what? You can try. I will go to multiplication first, because if I go to multiplication, you know that you can easily from multiplication table, you memorize that 8 times 9 will give you 72. So it is negative, so negative 72. So one from them should be negative, because I need negative 1. So once I subtract them, I should put the negative with the 9, because here I needed to have it negative. So 8 plus negative 9 according to the sign rule, so that is will be negative. Here is again according to the sign rule, that is will be negative. So you can say directly x minus 9, x plus 8. That's the answer. Definitely you might try more than these numbers. You might say, okay, miss, I will think about 36. 36 times 2. This is will be when I multiply them, or one from the negative, I'll get 72. But I will tell you, once you add these two numbers or subtract them, I mean, you get negative 1? No, that's why this is wrong. So that's why we have this done. Now let's just have more complicated thing. We are going to factor a trinomial with two variables. Oh, here I have y. What am I supposed to do if I have something like that? Let me give you something before I do this. We learned in the previous lessons, once we have p, for example, plus 9q times, for example, p here plus 7. That's example q. Before I just introduction for this one, what am I supposed to do? So we learned how to multiply these. So we said, let me multiply this one with the first one with the last one. So that is will be p squared. Then we said plus p times 7p, it will be 7pq. Then once we multiply this side, we have a plus 9qp plus 9 and 7. So 9 times 7 will give you 63. So that is 63 q squared. Since these here, you can change the order for them. These are like terms. So 7 plus 9, 16 p q plus 63 q squared. And here plus p squared. What do you notice now? You notice we are going to use exactly same knowledge, which means think about two numbers. Once I add them, I will get the number that I have in the middle, which is here. And the two numbers, once I multiply them, I will get this number. If you notice that this 9 and this 7, once you multiply them, 9 times 7, once you multiply them, you will get 63. But once you add them, you will get 16. But the only small thing that we are going to add with these two numbers, that we add them and will multiply them, we will get in the other side the other variable that I have. So like this one, I'm going to say x and here y, and here I must put a number. So with its sign. In the other side, same thing. I will gonna write like this, and then I need to put a number here with the other sign. So that's from this x and this y from this y. Now I will think about same idea. I will think about two numbers. When I multiply them, I will get 6. And two numbers, once I add them, I will get 6. Once I multiply them, I will get negative 55. What are these two numbers that I'm going to think about? For sure, my mind directly will go to 11 times 5. But then my mind will go to, so that is equals to 55. But because I have negative sign, so I must put my negative with one from these numbers. Which one from these number? I should put it with the small number. Why? Because if I add these two numbers, I need to have it positive number. So once I have it like that, so 11 plus minus 5, that is will be 6 according to the sign rule. Because once you add two numbers with different sign, you are going to subtract them and take the larger. So this is the taking the larger sign. So this is the larger sign which is positive. So what are these two numbers? Which is 11 and negative 5. So you can write negative 5 in one of them, and in the other one you will say that is plus 11. Miss, can I change the order? Can I write x plus 11y times x minus 5y? Can I do that? Yes, you can. Because according to commutative property of multiplication, you can do that. You can change the order for this one. But if you ask me, Miss, can I change the order for these x and y? You have a small change in the sign here. So be careful on that. So the answer will be different. So always follow the expression that you have and the form that you have here to avoid confusing. You can, but the sign little bit will change. Let me give you more details and more exercises related. So here we have this one. I'm going to think about two numbers. Once I multiply them, I will get negative 27. Once I add them, I will get the same two numbers. I will get 6. My mind directly will go to 9 times 3. Because even these two numbers, once I subtract them, I will get 6. But where am I supposed to put my sign? Since I have here positive 6, that means I should have the 9 positive to have to take the larger sign because it's bigger than 3. Then I will put my negative with the 3. So 3 plus 9, it's 6. Negative 3 times 9, which is negative 27. I'm done. I will write just my factors. So m minus 3n. Don't forget here we have two variables. The only case here, or the new thing here, that we have a new variable. Here two variables, not only one. Here again, I'm going to say it's m plus 9 n minus 3n, 9 plus m plus 9, 9n. Let me give you more exercises related. So here choose the correct answer. Maybe you have it in the test, definitely the chapter test, because the test will be from lesson 8.1 until 8.4 only. So maybe you have it later on. So look at this one. Now what is the best factorization for this one? We have 84 and 5. So what is the best for them? The problem here definitely in the sign. I should focus on the sign because 7 for sure, 7 times 12, it will give you 84 because these exactly both of them same. I just need to focus on the sign. What is the sign here will give me when I have these two numbers, 7 and 12, I will get 5. How can I get 5? If I subtract them, but where should I put the negative sign? I should put the negative sign with the 7. Why? I should make this one positive. Why? Because 5 is positive. So once I subtract these, I will take the larger sign. And the larger sign is 12. So I must choose this one. So B is the correct answer. Please make sure that you write them in your notes. Now, what about this one? If you have something similar to this one. So here we have negative 8. We must get negative 8 and 33. So the negative here will be with what? So we have a 3 and we have 11. So what is the thing that will give me? Definitely when I multiply them, I will get 33. And I need one from them negative. But with negative 8, how can I get negative 8? Since I have -8, I need the 11 is the negative sign. The negative sign with the 11. That means I have to choose this one. The last one, 16 and 48. So I need to have it here positive, but I should have both of them negative, because once I take 4 and 12, how can I get 16? I must add them. But I have it negative, so I should have both numbers negative, so I can add them. So here I have, this is the answer directly. This one, this part is depending on here, and especially because you have multiple choice, it depends on the sign rule that I gave you in the grade 7. And I'm confident you are so excellent in the sign rule. Let me give you just one more exercise or two more exercises from this part. So here I'm going to solve with you question 35. Question 35 will tell you that if you have, for example, r to the power 2 plus 19 rs plus 90. So your mind directly will go to 10 and 9, right? Both of them positive. So that's easy. If I plus 10 plus 9, that's mean immediately it's 19. If I multiply them, it's 90, which is very easy to calculate and very easy to factor. I have two variables. My first variable, I will put it here. My second variable, s, I will put it here. My first variable, my second variable. Then between them, since I have this is 10 plus 9, here is 10 multiplied by 9. So that is a plus 10. That is plus 9. That's it. I'm done with that. One more related exercise. Let me do also one more related exercise with some different sign. Let me do this one. So here we have W and Z, and in the other hand we have W and also we have Z. What are the two numbers that I will add them or subtract them? Definitely I will think about here, your mind directly will think about 10 and 4. But if you subtract them, you won't, or if you won't get the answer. But if you put both of them negative, you will get yes. Once you multiply them, you will get 40. But once you positive 40, once you add them, you will get negative 14, which is here negative 10, negative 5. Maybe another girl, she will gonna say, okay, miss, I will think about 5 times 8. But my question is, will you add 8 plus 5, will you get 14? Look at the sign here. I think this also work. No, it's not working, because here you will have it 13. Once you add them, you will get 13. So that's wrong. It's not 40. This is the idea. Let me give you this is the summary for all the lesson that we did. So for question 49, the answer I will gonna write, let me write it beside it. So just think about two numbers. Once you add them, 27. Once you multiply them, 50. So what are these two numbers? I will think about these two numbers. Well, I can say maybe it is 5 times 10, but no. If I add them, I won't get 27. So that means these are wrong. If I think about 10 and 5, no, I won't get them correctly, because these also wrong. Now, just think about 25 and 2. Once you multiply them, you will get 50. Once you add them, 27. Yes, that's correct then. So x plus 25, x plus 2. This one. Again, think about two numbers. Once you add them, you will get 30. Once you multiply them, you will get 64. So again, 64, I can say it is 32 times 2, isn't it? But I have them negative, so I have to take one from them. One from them should be negative. To have one from them should be negative, where am I supposed to add the negative sign? With the 2 or with 3. Since I have here 30, so I need to have it positive. That's why I must add my negative sign with the 2. So I will add my negative sign with the 2 because once I add them like this, I will get positive 30. So I will say this is D plus 32, D minus 2. One more related problem here, which is this one, which is including two variables. Again, you have 10 and you have 75. What are the two numbers that you are going to think about if you have these? So you can think about it in many different ways. Sometimes it's not coming to your mind easily, but once you try many numbers and list the factorization for 75, you will find it easily, inshallah. So 75, I can think about it in many ways, but basically and easily I can think about 15 and 5. Once I multiply 15 and 5, I will get 75. But I need to have it negative 75. So I must add the negative with the 5 or 15. But I need to have it here negative 10. So since I have negative 10 here, that means I must put my 15 here with my negative with the 15, because 10, I have it negative, so I will put my negative with the larger sign. So S minus 15. Don't forget, if you have another variable t, put the t here in the other side. So S plus 5t. I think that's enough for this part. I will give you just something a little bit different, which is maybe it just looks scary. So here I want to show you a sample of that. If you have, for example, n to the power 6, n to the power 3 minus 42, you will, in the beginning, you must think about it, miss, this does not look like the form that we learned. I will tell you, no, dear, this is look like the form that you learned, but you have to make little and a small change. So here you have, if you have this, you learned that if you raised n to the power, you can separate the 6. You know 6, it's 3 times 2. So you can separate them. You can raise this 3, this power to another power. So if you do that, you will have the same rule that we have, the same this one. You can just think about this, any variable you want. It's just one thing. And this one, exactly the same thing, which is will be look like this form. You can think about it, this is x, look like x, and then just take it and then substitute it by using exactly the same way. Let me solve with you one from these exercises. Remember, these are just for your knowledge. It's just challenging exercises, but you might have it in Pearson. So I can just rewrite this n into m to the power 5, all this to the power 2 plus 18 m5 plus 17. Now I have this form. I will imagine that this is one thing. This is my variable. I'll directly say m squared plus what? And then to the power 5 plus what? Think about two numbers. Once you multiply them, you will get 17. Once you add them, you will get 18. The only choice that I have easily, 17 and 1, right? 17 times 1 is 17. But once I add them, I will get 18. So plus. That's it. One more, just to show you, if we have, for example, they did not give more than one variable. Yeah, they did not give more than one variable. That's exactly the same that we have here, the same sample. So you can say p to the power 3, all this to the power 2, plus 14 p to the power 3 minus 72. So what are the two numbers? Once I multiply them, I will get 72. Once I add them, I will get 14. What are these two numbers? So here you might just sit and little bit thinking about it. So if you stayed, and I'm not wasting the time just trying many numbers with you, But if you are alone, you can just think about. We tried before 36 times 2, but if we add them or subtract them, we won't get 14. So that means this option is wrong. I will think about another two factors for 72. You can definitely use the prime factorization to help you and try once you try the 72. Try them out to have two numbers for 72. Let me give you immediately what are these two numbers. 18 times 4, once you multiply them, you will get 72. Once you subtract them, you will get 14. So these are the answer. But where am I supposed to put my p to the power 3, p to the power 3? So that is, I have 18, I have 4. Where am I supposed to put my negative? Since this one is positive, I mean, I want to, once I subtract them, I want to have the larger is positive, so I will put that's plus and that's minus to have this 72 is minus. So that's the idea from this lesson. I'm not taking long time from you girls, and I finished the lesson. Good luck. Remember your homework. Please do your homework. Don't forget you to do your homework. The last day, which is Sunday next week, will be the last day. So good luck, girls. Bye.